So for those of you who do not know, today is June 19th, and every year June 19th is Sickle Cell Awareness Day. Sickle cell disease is a disease that started in Africa as the body's way of combating malaria. So as a result, the blood cells became sickle shaped as opposed to round shaped, and when they become sickle shaped, the malaria parasite cannot penetrate. So if you haven't heard, people with sickle cell disease actually cannot get malaria, but also on the flip side of that, it created this blood disorder disease that causes really painful crisis. So when those moon-shaped blood cells get clotted up it can happen in any part of your body, arms, legs, chest, back, waist, wherever you experience a painful crisis that can last anywhere from hours to days, 2 weeks. Sometimes it can lead you to getting hospitalized, where you might need a blood transfusion. It can also cause so many other health complications and health problems. So some of the big challenges that I face as an adult, of course, experiencing a crisis, and sometimes there's no warning sign, there's no triggers, there's no nothing. 1 minute you're living your happy life, you're going to work, everything is fine, and literally within a second everything can change, and next thing you know is either your leg or your arm and you can't walk and everything changes. So you always have to be on your toes. One of the things that can cause a crisis to come is changing temperature. If it's too cold or too hot, you could be in trouble. Making sure that you're eating right and you're drinking tons and tons of water. Like at work, I have my little water bottle, and I'm literally always going back and forth to the water fountain, and everybody's like, wow, you drink a lot of water. I'm like, you have no idea. My life depends on it. I feel like Black women, it's already hard enough for us to find a good man, and to add one more thing to your list of things that you have to check off just makes it like 50 times even harder. So have to be God-fearing, he has to be good, he has to be responsible, blah 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 blah, and you're like, oh yeah, and by the way, you have to have blood genotype, this and that. And that conversation is always awkward. It's like you never know how it's gonna go, you never know how the guy is gonna take it. Please, regardless if you have sickle cell or not, if you're a Black person, African, Brazilian, wherever, because we are the ones who predominantly have this disease, make sure that whoever you decide to date, that you get tested and you find out whether or not either of you have the trait, so that you know that your children will not have this disease if you do decide to have children. And I feel like there isn't enough awareness out there for sickle cell. Honestly, if people advocated for sickle cell as much as they did for like cancer or diabetes and stuff like that, we will probably have a cure by now. So get involved. If you have sickle cell foundations in your local area, get involved, donate to the foundation, spread the news, spread the word, go and do your research about it to find out what it's all about. If you know somebody with sickle cell, talk to them. Sometimes this disease can be a lonely life, and you never really know what people are going through, because it's just pain. You're constantly in pain, and nobody really understands the pain that we go through. So it can get pretty lonely. So if you know somebody who has the disease, talk to them, be supportive, be close to them, and also try to find other ways that you can help bring awareness to the cause.